Welcome to Echoed Enigmas, where shadows whisper truths.
You think the bus was the nightmare. You think Emily was the ghost. But I haven't told you what happened when we got to Savannah. And honestly, I wish I never had to. Because the truth isn't that I saw a ghost on a bus. The truth is, the ghost followed me off. We pulled into Savannah around 2 a.m. Downtown was dead. Fog sat low on the streets like it had been waiting for us. Everyone grabbed their bags, half asleep, dragging themselves toward the hotel lobby, laughing, yawning, normal. And I stood there on the sidewalk, alone, watching them file inside, trying to convince myself that the last 6 hours didn't happen, that Emily wasn't real, that I imagined it. But then I looked down at my arm, and there it was, a mark on my wrist, red, irritated, like a fresh tattoo that was still healing. A small bus silhouette. The same one Emily had. The same one the girl in the article had. I hadn't gotten a tattoo. I'd never wanted one. But there it was, burned into my skin like a brand. And it was warm to the touch. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the edge of the hotel bed, lights on, staring at the mark, Googling everything I could find. The article from earlier led me deeper. Forum posts, Reddit threads, local news archives from 8 years ago, then 16 years ago, then 24. Every 8 years, same route, same bus company, same story. A student boards, talks to someone no one else remembers, and then they change. The pattern was always the same. The person who interacts with the ghost doesn't die right away. That would be too simple. No, they carry the mark. The tattoo appears on its own, and for the next 8 years, they live normally, go to class, get jobs, fall in love, forget, until the loop resets. And when it does, they become the next passenger, the next ghost on the bus, sitting in that window seat, waiting for someone new to talk to them. That's when it hit me. Emily wasn't haunting me, she was warning me. Because she'd been exactly where I was 8 years ago. Someone talked to her, she got the mark, she lived her life, and then the loop pulled her back in. She didn't choose to be a ghost, she was trapped, and now she was trying to stop it from happening to me. The next morning, the Savannah trip carried on like nothing happened. Historical tours, ghost walks, ironic, right? The group wandered through old cemeteries and haunted mansions, snapping photos, laughing at jump scares. But I couldn't focus. I kept checking my wrist. The tattoo was darker now, more defined, like it was settling in. And every mirror I passed, I swore I saw her standing behind me, just for a flash, then gone. That afternoon, I finally ran into Sarah, my ex, the whole reason I came on this trip. She looked at me and immediately knew something was off. "You look awful. You okay?" I almost told her everything. Almost. But how do you explain something like this? So I just said, "Bad night. Couldn't sleep." She nodded. Then she said something that stopped me cold. "Yeah, buses freak me out too, ever since what happened to my cousin." I stared at her. "What cousin?" She looked surprised. "I told you this, back when we were dating. My mom's side. A girl disappeared on a charter bus years ago. Same company, actually. They never found her." My mouth dried. "What was her name?" Sarah tilted her head. "Emily. Emily Carter. Why?" The ground tilted under me. Emily wasn't a stranger. She was Sarah's cousin, the cousin who vanished 8 years ago. And I, the ex-boyfriend who came on this trip to talk to Sarah, was the one Emily's ghost chose. Not random, not coincidence. She chose me because of the connection, because I was tied to Sarah, tied to her family. The loop doesn't pick strangers. It picks people connected to the last victim. I spent the rest of that trip in silence. I couldn't eat, could barely speak, and every time I closed my eyes, I saw Emily's face in that window reflection, bloody, hollow, and those words, "Join us." When we got back to Jacksonville, I went straight to a dermatologist, told them I had a strange mark on my wrist. They examined it. The doctor frowned. "This looks like a tattoo, but there's no ink under the skin. It's like a scar that formed in the shape of something. I've never seen anything like it." She took photos for her files, referred me to a specialist. I never went, because I knew no doctor could fix what this was. That was 3 years ago. 3 years of checking over my shoulder. 3 years of avoiding buses. 3 years of waking up at 2 a.m. to the sound of a whisper I can't quite hear. The tattoo is still there, hasn't faded. If anything, it's sharper now, more detailed, like it's finishing itself. And lately, I've started noticing something new. I forget things, small things at first. What I had for breakfast, a coworker's name, a street I've driven down 100 times. Then bigger things. I looked at a photo of myself last month, and for a second, I didn't recognize my own face. It's starting. The loop is pulling me in, slowly, piece by piece, erasing who I am so it can make me into what it needs. The next rider, the next ghost in the window seat. I have 5 years left, maybe less, and I've tried everything. Priests, psychics, paranormal investigators. One old woman in Savannah, she was the only one who didn't look at me like I was crazy. She held my wrist, looked at the mark, and closed her eyes. When she opened them, she was crying. She said, "You can't break the loop, but you can pass it." I asked her what that meant. She said, "The mark moves to whoever you're closest to when the cycle resets. That's how it jumps, through connection, through love, through trust." And that's when I understood the real horror. It's not the ghost, it's not the bus, it's not even dying. It's knowing that the only way to save myself is to curse someone I care about. And I won't do that. So, here I am, sitting in my apartment, wrist burning, clock ticking. 5 years until the loop resets, and I've made my decision. When the time comes, I'll board that bus alone. No friends, no connections, no one close enough for the mark to jump to. I'll sit in that window seat, and I'll let it take me. Because Emily tried to warn me. She fought the loop. She chose me not to curse me, but because she thought I was strong enough to end it. And maybe I'm not. But I'll try. If you've watched all 3 parts, thank you. Not for the views, not for the algorithm. Because now you know the story, and knowing it means you'll recognize the signs. The empty seat that feels occupied, the stranger who knows your name, the mark that appears without explanation. If it happens to you, don't talk to them, walk away, break the connection before it forms. Because the loop is patient, and it's always looking for someone new. But there's one thing I never told you, one detail I held back because I wasn't sure until now. That night on the bus, when Emily grabbed my arm at the rest stop and told me about her dream, she said the girl in the dream had a bus tattoo on her wrist. But she also said something else, something I buried because it scared me more than anything. She said the girl whispered a name before she said, "Join us." She whispered my name. It was always going to be me. This is the end of my story. But the loop never ends.